and I don't even like Swiss chard that much, but there was so much of it. And it ended up being at Relae, they did a sort of cooking them, layering them, and then breading them. So it was like a schnitzel, but with the vegetables. Beautiful dish. That can only happen if you just have too much Swiss chard.
Right, yeah. Because if you set out to make a schnitzel, you're not going to think Swiss chard. Copenhagen is known for sustainable cooking and foraging, but it gets pretty cold for over half the year. To keep serving locally sourced produce year-round, you have to rethink your approach to hardy winter vegetables. To see how sustainability-focused chefs stay inspired year-round, I visited the farm of restaurant Relae, twice named the most sustainable restaurant in the world.
My name is Francesco Puglisi, and I'm a chef and wannabe farmer. And I'm a founder of the Relae community, which consists of 4 restaurants and this farm we're at right now, where we cultivate most of the vegetables that we use.
What do we have going on here? What are these guys?
We grow crops on about 2 hectares here, vegetables, where we do it by market gardening way, which is highly intensive but more manual labor. And a big part of that is to make your own small plants that then you put out into the ground.
Okay, so right now it's kind of cold and there isn't a lot in season. Mm-hmm. What do you do in the restaurant?
The thing is, if this is supposed to be a vegetable, there's still a very long way to go.
Yeah. So
you get an understanding with time that if you're really in line with seasonality, you can only be very vegetable focused through the vegetable season. And in the off season, what we have is more sturdy, wintry, stored vegetables, which would be your root vegetables, celeriac and carrots and leeks and stuff that can stay on the ground. There's a lot of kale, but also like say celeriac is harvested and then it's stored. And from a creative point of view, it's not necessarily better or worse than when it's fresh. It's just different.
Right.
So you need to deal with it differently. It's how you stay in line with the seasonality, and how you express that is also based on the limitations that you have. Mm-hmm. and the lack of things that makes you appreciate other things.
By being creative both on the farm and in the kitchen, the chefs at Relae are able to create delicious, vegetable-focused dishes even during the colder winter months.
And my purpose of this is to have the chef be out on the farm, on the field, and do this sort of fusion between gastronomy and agriculture. Because I believe that we can find some things here. We can bring some ways of working, but also some approaches to valuing the result of the crops in a different way than a farmer does. Like what you do with it on the ground, what you do with it on the soil, how you prep it when you harvest it, how you harvest it. All the things can make a huge deal if you have the end goal in sight.
You mentioned that in certain seasons you have like almost an overabundance of everything. Yeah. What do you do if you have too much of something?
Instead of you having a restaurant or a chef that calls a purveyor and says, what do you have in season now? It's sort of the other way around. We say, zucchini, a lot. I really think that gives us a unique opportunity to work creatively with the food, because you have to. Mm-hmm. You have to, and I think that's something that is underestimated, how good it is for you having to do some things. Mm-hmm. And not just having to be able to choose from whatever you want. When you're forced to overcome some things, that's when you can really make up some interesting stuff.
For more hacks from all over the world, like this video and subscribe to Lifehacker.